Sack her. Hi guys, those were the words of advice from the former Attorney General and Conservative MP Dominic Grieve when he spoke to Sky News. Grieve laid out the case against the Home Secretary and why she should go. He commended the police, explaining that they were right to claim that Braverman's intervention would damage cohesion within society and communities. When asked if the hooligans and right-wing mob would have just turned up anyway, he explained that it doesn't really make any difference because the Home Secretary has a job to do and she failed to do it. Have a listen.
And there were one or two people who were clearly breaking the law in terms of glorifying terrorism, or for that matter, in advocating or supporting terrorism, and they need to be brought to justice. And I have no doubt the police will use their resources to try to make sure that happens. There was then deplorable scenes around the cenotaph by right-wing extremists, and it's impossible to escape the conclusion that some of that was fueled by the rhetoric and the incitement of the Home Secretary in the days leading up to it, when instead of keeping calm and maintaining calm, she raised the temperature, and as the police rightly said, she made community cohesion and community relationships more difficult. And that is the criticism of her. And it seems to me the police have vindicated in their judgment as to how this should be handled in a free society, even if people may disapprove of the demonstration, the main demonstration. And she's shown that she is, in fact, incapable of understanding her duty as a Home Secretary in maintaining the right to demonstrate under the rule of law. And she should resign.
She and her supporters would no doubt say that yesterday was always going to be a sensitive day, given that it was Armistice Day. We don't know what would have happened if she hadn't made her remarks or written her article in the Times. It is possible that we were always going to see scenes like that, given that there are very high emotions around on what was a very significant day.
It's possible, but it doesn't make any difference to her failure to observe proper norms of behaviour as Home Secretary. She had no business trying to override the police in a public way that she did. That was a breach of a fundamental rule in our society, that the police are independent in how they make their judgments in this matter. She tried to bully the police into a particular outcome, and she had no business doing it. She wrote an article which appears to be, on the face of it, in breach of collective cabinet responsibility, and which was, in its own way, inflammatory. And this is all of a piece with behaviour, patterns of behaviour by her that go back over a long period. I don't know what the Prime Minister is going to do, but if he was asking me my advice, I would say sack her. She's clearly unfit to do this particular job.
Yes, completely unfit. Now, why the heck did Rishi Sunak hire her in the first place? Remember, she was forced to resign over the leaking of documents to a mentor of hers. And then within a few days, Rishi Sunak rehired her. Now, of course, he wanted to shore up his support within the far right of the Conservative Party. And now it's coming back to bite him in the behind. It's just, one thing is for Suella Braverman to resign or to be sacked. But also, Rishi Sunak has to take responsibility for this. Because he put her in that position. He knew she was damaged goods. He knew she was dishonest. He knew that she was a charlatan. But he put her into that position anyway. Now, he could have put her in a position where she didn't have any control over the narrative. She didn't have some massive control. The Home Secretary. Why didn't he make her the Transport Secretary? Or why didn't he put her in charge of health or something like that? Yes, health would, well, she'd do a lot of damage there. Let's say transport. Why didn't he put her into a junior position? No. He put her into one of the most important jobs in the country. Because he wanted to appeal to the idiotic wing of the Conservative Party, the headbangers. Now, is she going to be sacked? I don't know, because Rishi Sunak is so spineless. A normal leader, a leader with any real clout, would have sacked her ages ago. But he feels that, well, if he does sack her, she's going to undermine his position. So he's going to hold her in place, it seems. But that's undermining his position as well. I think the best thing he should do is send her to the backbenches. So, in a reshuffle, move her out of that, or if you don't want to go down that road, put her into another position within government. Because then you will upset some people, but you won't upset enough people that it would really damage your position. So But once again, I don't know if Rishi Sunak has the spine to do this. Does she have something on him? I don't think so. But he's just so spineless. He's going to lose the next general election, so it won't cost him anything really in the short term and in the medium term. It will be damaging to the Conservative Party because she's going to rally her supporters around her, saying, look, I'm the victim here, I was just trying to do my job and I was sacked. And then when the leadership campaign really begins after the general election, she will say, I was the one standing up to the police, I was the one standing up to Rishi Sunak, I was the one standing up to the blob, I was standing up to the, tofu eating, whatever. But she should have been sacked ages ago, or even better, she should never have been hired in the first place. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.